Luke here with an update. So as many of you know, sometimes on my channel I like to talk about stories from my past because I feel like I have a lot of weird things that have happened to me and I like sharing that stuff with you. So this one today is going to be about my very first kiss and how awkward it was. So this story takes place when I'm in 8th grade, I'm 13 years old, and I am completely clueless about girls, which not much has changed on that end. But anyways, I was going to a Christian ministry retreat thing with my church, and we were heading to Colorado. So this bus is really big and we're about to head to Colorado, and I want to sit next to all of my friends, but we get on the bus a little bit late, so there weren't a lot of seats available so that we could all sit next to each other. So we're heading towards the back, and there was one spot that was available next to a pretty cute girl, and she actually looks at me and says, like, you can come sit next to me if you want. So I kind of freeze up a little bit, and knowing that I really have nowhere else to sit, okay, so I sit down next to this girl. I was really nervous, and like I said, I just didn't know how to act around girls. And a message to all of the younger girl viewers watching this: if a guy pretends like he knows how to act around a girl in 8th grade, he probably doesn't. I don't know. I know me and all of my friends really didn't know what we were supposed to do around girls at that age. So to break some of the awkward tension that was there, I just started talking to her, talking about her school, because we didn't go to the same schools, and I didn't know her or any of her friends, obviously, so we had a little bit to talk about. But the thing was, everything that I said was hilarious to her, and some of the stuff I was saying was not funny at all. I would say something like, yeah, I'm just starting to learn how to play drums, and she'd be like, oh yeah, that's great. So she was probably a little bit nervous too as well. Before we left, one of the church pastors was walking down the aisle and just making sure everybody was comfortable because we were about ready to go, and he kept saying that there was no purpling on the bus, and I didn't really know what that meant. And so he had to explain it to some of the people that girls are red, boys are blue, and there's no purpling. And I thought, like, why would there be any purpling on the bus? We're going to like a church retreat. That would never happen. But I was pretty wrong. And also, to expand upon what was happening, not only was I sitting next to a cute girl that was laughing at all of just my statements, not even my jokes, but all of her friends were watching our interaction and, you know, peering in, something that they were probably going to talk about later, and that just made me that much more nervous. So we start heading to Colorado. Everything seems to be going really, really well. I'm making new friends around me, and we kind of left the journey a little later, and the drive from Iowa, where we started, to Colorado is something like 12 or 13 hours. So it started to get really dark outside, people on the bus started to fall asleep, and I was still kind of talking with this girl. We had to start whispering to continue our conversation because everybody around us started falling asleep, and that's when she put her head on my shoulder. Now, even though that I knew that this girl liked me, I still had no idea what I was supposed to do. So I sat there very rigid, very scared for what my action should be. So I reached over and grabbed her hand, and we started holding hands, and I was like, man, I just met this girl, I don't know what to do. So we sat there what seemed like a few hours, probably was more like a half an hour, holding hands with her head on my shoulder, and our hands started to get really sweaty and gross and moist, and to the point of it being kind of uncomfortable. I didn't know if I should let go of her hand. Now I know that I probably should have just let go of her hand and like wiped my hand off of my jeans because it was kind of gross. But still not knowing what to do, out of the blue, she takes my face, turns me towards her, and we start kissing. And I was like, this is so weird. What the heck is happening? The kiss was terrible, and it will go down forever as my terrible first kiss. Just very like pursed lips on both end, and then I think she tried to like throw a little tongue in there, and it was like, no, like, I don't know what to do, like, leave me alone, stop attacking me with your tongue. I would love to hear somebody's story where they had a fantastic first kiss. I'm sure it's happened, but it is just so uncomfortable, and it's almost like seems forced. And what makes it so much worse, and kind of the reason why I'm telling you this story, is because after the awkward kiss, she puts her head back on my shoulder, and I look around the bus and to see if anybody saw anything, looking back at my friends that are further back on the bus. I thought I was in the clear because nobody saw me, but I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna reenact this right now. There was a girl sitting across the aisle from where we were sitting, and here, I'm just gonna do my best interpretation of this. She's sitting there with a blanket over her knees like this, just looking at us, just wide-eyed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I later found out that this girl not only is like super creepster town, just like watching me make out with a girl for the very first time in my life, but this girl is actually the pastor's daughter. And so I later in life had many more interactions with this girl, and I will always remember the wide-eyed look that she gave me after my first incredibly awkward kiss. So after all of that happened, I fell asleep on the bus, woke up, it was morning, and I was sitting next to this girl that I realized that I had made out with, or I'd purpled with, and it was just like, I didn't know how to act around this girl at all. She seemed to be fine, but then for the rest of the conference, she wanted to kind of hang out with me, like, hey, you're kind of my new boyfriend or whatever. And I started to realize that maybe there wasn't a whole lot of compatibility. This girl went to another school, she lived a little bit farther away. I knew that there probably wasn't gonna be anything past the conference, so I guess the story is not only my first kiss, but it's also my first little heartbreak, I suppose, because this girl was not happy when I told her later that I was happy to be her friend, I guess. And to make this story even worse, one of her friends that was on the bus that didn't see us kiss or anything, we started dating a little bit later. And what was even more awkward about that relationship is I never even kissed that girl. If you guys think you have a story that beats my awkward first kiss story, you can leave a video response, you can leave a comment below about it. I've been reading a lot of your comments recently, and speaking of reading your comments, on my last video I saw a lot of people say that CTFXC edit their own videos, and I was misinformed on that, so I'm sorry. And in case you missed it from my last video, I am giving away all of these goodies from Blair's birthday party. It's tons of girly products that I cannot use, so Blair was actually the one that said, like, well, why don't you just give it away in a video, because you cannot obviously use some of the products in there. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway, it's for free. You just have to comment on one of my pictures over on Facebook. The link for that will be below. Some of you said that you don't have a Facebook, so you can't enter. So I'm also gonna put a little thing for Twitter, and just click on that and then tweet at me with, and I'll have like a little like tweet link. Tweet that at me, and you can enter it that way, because I'm just gonna go through, randomly pick one person, and I will ship it to you. I'm gonna pick that tomorrow afternoon. I'm repping one of Joey Graceffa's shirts today. Check this out. Joey Graceffa with all of his like fun things in his magical little world. I'll put a link to that, the shirt, below. I think it's a pretty awesome shirt. He gave me another design that I'll probably wear in another video, but anyway, Joey rocks. And the very last thing before I go, I just wanted to say that I really, really love the interaction that I have with you guys, and I know there are some people that have only been watching me for the last few months, and so what I thought would be a cool way to interact with you guys at the very end of each one of these videos, when I sing my like Luke Has No Friends little end piece at the very end of these videos, I'm going to annotate a mystery video from something that I've done on YouTube. Some of this stuff that I'll be putting on there might be like upwards of 3 years old, because I have been making videos for a while. Some of these videos won't be from my channel, be stuff that I've done on other people's channel. Sometimes it won't be completely about me. I might just make like a little cameo, and I thought that'd be a really fun way for some of my new viewers to go and check out some of the work that I've done in the past that they might not have known or seen before. So I think that would be kind of cool, and this video will be the first one that I do with that. So yeah, it'll just have like a little mystery box or whatever, and if you click on that, then you can go and check out some of my past work if you want. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.
Luke's got no friends. Luke's got no friends. Luke has no friends. It's raining. Oh.